Puppy Monkey Baby commercial?
I didn't watch Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been like all over YouTube and stuff, so I didn't know if you might have seen it. It's been like on social media a lot and stuff.
For what product is it for?
It was Mountain Dew Kickstart, like the juice soda thing that they
Oh,
make.
okay.
But it's like these three like bros that are just sitting on the couch eating popcorn, watching TV, and one of them's like, I think I'm just gonna chill tonight, and then this puppy monkey baby hybrid thing comes in through their door, and he has a ice bucket full of Mountain Dews, and he just starts going puppy monkey baby, and he just and it's really, and then the guys like drink the Mountain Dew, and then they get up and they start like dancing to this puppy monkey baby song, and then they just follow him out the door.
Sounds
It's
absurd.
it's it's like really weird slash funny, but
Cool. So we are looking at 15 big blind reshoves or something? Or greater?
just open shoves, open shoves where we have at least 15 big blinds.
Okay.
And I've got like probably 150 or so hands loaded into ICMizer here that are all, that should all be open jams.
Hands that
I've
you
already,
did shove?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
See you in 2 hours.
Haven't really gotten anyone else's feedback on them. Just kind of looked at them myself.
Yeah.
The only problem is, I was gonna say we don't have HUD stats because it's all loaded into ICMizer. I could probably get them. Yeah, there we go.
Well played.
Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning here. Okay. So we have the replayer and the behind the ICMizer here, so we can look at HUD. So yeah, I guess we kind of talked about, I think it was our last session, or maybe it was 2 sessions back, we talked about one of the things that I was doing was like kind of jamming too many hands with like 20 bigs.
Yeah, yep.
But instead of doing 20 and up, I did 15 and up just so we'd have more hands, and because I think 15 is still a spot where I might be jamming too much.
Cool, yeah. And, are you sure you like need my input on this, or? Well, I guess that's why you're doing it. I guess you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful because there's some spots where I feel like jamming is. I mean, we'll see. The first few I looked at here, they're all profitable jams if we look at Nash for chip EV. But I'm just wondering if there's like a lot of spots where I could probably limp or raise fold. Excuse me, raise fold, and it might be better.
Yeah. Makes sense. So yeah, what are the factors we look at? So obviously we just look at, EV of jamming, but what else should we look at?
The EV of limping and raise folding.
Yeah.
Usually raise calling is like, I feel like I have a pretty good range for that, so I think most hands that are better as a raise call, I usually do that, but
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
so I don't really know how to look at the EV of limping though.
so it's really fucking hard because nobody really
Yeah.
limps, so
Yeah.
it's a bit problematic. So we just have no
Yeah.
clue.
And I used a different HUD so you wouldn't berate me for my ugly HUD.
I can't believe you didn't like that other HUD. I think you're just
Oh man, I hate
jealous.
that one. No, I don't like when it has like the text on it to tell you what each stat is. Like when it says VPIP next to the VPIP and PFR next to the PFR number. I feel like that's just too much clutter. Like I know what number is VPIP. I don't need you to have the letters VPIP next to it.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out the EV of limping, and nobody has a sample on it. Nobody really does it that much. It's very hard.
Yeah,
to
and it's just And it's also like with tools like this, you can't really do it with tools like ICMizer.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really do it either. So yeah, it's quite a big problem.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
so yeah, this hand just looks like a standard shove. I don't,
yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you shove Queen 10 there though, or Queen
Um,
9, or what do you shove?
yeah. Queen 9, I would probably raise fold. Queen 10, I don't know. Probably, I might shove Queen 10. Um, I think it's profitable.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah. I
Queen 9
guess.
is good, but I think it's too thin. Or does that
Yeah.
say you make... Whoa, whoa,
50
whoa.
chips.
Wait. It has these guys calling your shove with 46 and 77%.
Oh. Well, yeah, because this is Nash. Yeah.
That's not Nash. Hit calculate Nash.
Oh, whoops. It's not?
No.
Okay. I think I have a misunderstanding about how to use ICOmizer then. Because I click calculate Nash. Okay, that's better. But now, how do I see my range without changing what they call with?
Now hit calculate.
I thought that's what I just did. Okay. Must have. Oh, it must have been from a previous hand or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now Queen 9 is not good.
Yeah. So yeah, Queen 10 makes about sense. And how often do you bust stripping like Jack 10 offsuit here?
Jack 10 off,
Yeah.
25% of the time.
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
And is there a big difference between Jack 10 off and like, I don't know, what's the bottom of your shoving range? Queen 6 suited?
Yeah, 11 chips.
It probably shouldn't be a big difference. It's like 1%.
It's about the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not just EV, it's EV plus bust probability as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Busting 20 something percent kind of sucks. Alright, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Jack 10 suit. You just rip.
I just rip. Well, look at the stack sizes in the. Oh, I guess they have 20.
Yeah.
See, like this is a spot where I think that limping might be a lot better. But I don't know how to really prove that or analyze it.
How much do you make with shoving?
Let's see. And then, so I hit calculate Nash, and then I just hit calculate to see the range.
Yep.
Okay, we make 450 chips, a little over half a big blind.
It's quite a bit. You don't bust
We
very
only bust.
0%.
How do we bust never?
Because you're that good.
Oh, because I have too many chips.
It's the special Douggy function. You just don't get to bust. You're so good.
Yeah. I mean, that is a pretty big factor, though, right? If we can't bust and we still have like 6 or 7 bigs if we lose.
What do you think?
What?
What do you think?
I think it's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I mean, I think how often do you bust if you had like 15K here?
Let me check that.
I'm guessing it's not that much. Now hit calculate Nash again, just in case it changes. I'm guessing it's like way less than the Queen Jack offsuit hand.
Yeah, because they don't call nearly as much.
Yeah, I'm guessing 15-ish or something.
18, pretty close.
18, but busting here is a lot bigger deal than busting at 150, 300, I think. Because you're closer to the money.
Yeah, I think we should be pretty close at this stage. Yeah.
So yeah.
Plus, we have more.
Go
We
ahead.
have more big blinds too. We have more chips too in this spot.
Yeah, so you're closer to the money, but you actually have these dudes covered. You make quite a lot of chips shoving here. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good rip. I don't know what you think about these other hands, like Jack 10 off. Do you think we should rip that one, or Jack 9 suited, or?
I don't really like ripping those. I honestly don't even really like ripping this Jack 10 suited. So no, I don't think we should be. What do we have for stats? We don't. Oh well, small blind we have a somewhat of a sample on, and he's very aggro. So
Okay.
I think that should discourage us from raise folding. But I still think limping is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, limping's pretty solid, and
Yeah.
like it's probably okay to limp even hands like Jack 10 suited sometimes, but I think jam might be the best play here.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I mean it makes a lot of chips. You never bust. You put a lot of pressure on those guys. They probably call tighter than Nash. I don't think big blind calls 18%. They put in their actual. Give yourself 22K again, and then put in their actual calling ranges.
Okay, so small blind is pretty aggro, but I don't think he's calling like these bottom pairs. I don't think he's calling with these. I guess that's decent.
Yeah, and just take off 3% for the big blind as well. It's probably pretty damn close.
I always click the wrong. I always click save there. Okay, so like take off these.
Yeah, just take off whatever you think. You don't have to listen to me and do 3%. Just do whatever you want.
Okay. That's. I'll leave that on there.
Okay.
God damn it! I clicked save again. Okay, and then we had, what do we have? 23K.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the thing I mentioned about the charts being awesome.
Yeah.
You probably already know about all of it, but once this is
I don't use the charts very often. I don't know what you mean exactly, so.
Okay, once this is done calculating, I'll show you. So, like instead of running this spot Nash and then changing.
You hit calculate Nash. You're supposed to just hit calculate. Fix their ranges again.
Damn it. Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah, you're the nut low.
For sure.
So charts, you were saying?
Yeah, so now I just hit calculate, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we make 550 now, and...
What did we make last time? I think it was pretty similar, wasn't it?
I think it was four something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you make extra chips here.
Yeah, roughly, yeah. So the charts, you know how if you wanted to tweak their ranges a little bit, we would just kind of go in and change their ranges and then hit calculate again to see how much we make versus different fill-in types.
Yeah.
Well, instead of doing that, you can kind of just click on a chart, and then you can click on like one of the ranges. So like let's say BB's range, and it'll show us a chart of how much we make based on their calling range instead of just like running it a bunch of times.
Oh, okay.
So you can see, like, okay, so we said they're calling 13.
So you put your mouse over to the number 13.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see where 13 is, but yeah, right here. So, like, right there, we make, that's jumping around on it. So right here is 15%. We make 600 chips. And if they're calling around, like, 38%, we actually start losing money. And if they call wider than 50%, which no one does, we start making money again.
And go to the range chart. What about that? Oh yeah, I've seen this thing before. Yeah.
Okay. So this changes our range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh wait, it has both though. It has our range and their range.
Yeah. So if your opponent calls 0%, you could shove 100%, obviously.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of cool.
yeah. So yeah, I think Jack 10 suited is a pretty good shove, but pretty close between the two.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. 10-9 off in the small. Oh, this is just a standard shove. We can skip this.
Yep.
King 10 is... Oh, well, we're hijack with King 10. And we have 16 and a half beebs, 17 beebs.
Yeah.
These guys are short. These guys less than 10. All three of these have less than 10. It's just the cutoff has a lot.
Yeah. So how much do you make shoving?
Not much. 120 chips.
Yeah. What you could do is you can raise like 3x and call everyone else and fold to the guy on your left.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. Yeah.
So
can we?
Go ahead.
Can we set that up in here? Can we like set up raise calling like that?
I think Hold'em Resources could probably do that. Tell you the EV, but this program cannot.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could tell you your bust probability for shoving here, which isn't that high.
Yeah. The thing that drives me crazy about Hold'em Resources is I've never been able to get the hand history pasting to work. But when I started using ICMizer, it was so easy to just get all these 150 hands in here to go through them.
For sure.
Takes a lot longer with Hold'em Resources.
Yeah, I think Jam's suboptimal here. I think going 3x, call it off, is very likely to be the best play.
What about going like 2.2, 2.3 and calling off? Do you think that that's not as good because they have more?
That could be better, actually.
Go ahead.
That could be better, actually. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I don't know if they like perceive that they have more fold equity if I do that, so they'll jam wider or not. But
yeah, I mean, you get a better price on your steel when cutoff has something, so it's nice.
True. Yeah. What about when like what if we do that cutoff flats and then one of these guys shoves? We just reshove.
Depends on his stats, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think I have. Yeah, no hands on him.
Yeah. Cutoff's pretty flatty, maybe. Otherwise, definitely not. But yeah, I think you can lower your bust probability while keeping the same amount of EV, perhaps.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I would say maybe that one's like a bit suboptimal. And you don't make that much chips jamming. I think you said 110 chips. Like, it's not all that much.
It's also possible here that we're already in the money, or we might just be close to the money because I think this was a 3K stacks tournament with it's a turbo. So at this level we might be in the money or close to it, but if we're close to it, I think that
your bust probability is actually super low. Did you calculate Nash here, or did you just hit calculate?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll do it again just to make sure.
Yeah, so hit calculate. And go to your bust probability with King 10. It's super low.
7%.
Yeah. So your 110 chips isn't that bad, you know.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I think if you raise, you can make the same amount and lower your bust probability a little bit.
Okay. Makes sense.
QT.
This seems totally standard. Yeah. This one's not so standard, but I think it's pretty fine shove spot.
Yeah, it doesn't play well post, so I don't really want to raise it. Like,
what's that?
It doesn't play well post flop, and
I
can't call a rip, so.
Yeah, and if we look at the hand and see stats, no stats, so.
Yeah, easy rip.
Great. King Jack suited with, I mean, I'm sure we're probably in the money at this point in this tournament.
Yeah, so how would you analyze this hand?
Um, hmm. Well, we can start by calculating Nash and see what we make by shoving. We have no bust probability. Worst case, we still have 8K or so.
Oh,
if we do get called by the biggest stack.
Okay.
Yeah, we make a little over half a big.
It's pretty damn good. You never bust.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I think shoving might be best here.
So when I think about raising, I think about how well does my hand play post, how likely am I to get reshoved on, and whether I can call or not.
Okay.
So,
let me go to the hand so we can see stats. Oops.
that might be the hand, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. 25 over 41 hands is pretty passive on the button. 29, 22, 11 is pretty aggro in the small blind over 62 hands. Big blind 17, 5 is pretty tight passive.
Yeah.
So we have one aggro player. The other two are very passive. So I think it's pretty likely we get 3-bet by small blind. 3-bet by position out of the small blind is 0, but it's only 3 hands.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I lean towards jamming.
Well, what sucks is if any of them jam on you, it's a really tough spot.
Yeah, it is.
It's really marginal, but your hand plays really well post at the same time.
Yeah, I just don't know how likely it is to go post. I mean, button and big blind, it's quite likely that they flat, but small blind I don't think is flatting very often.
Yeah.
Can we see his call 2-bet in the small blind?
Yeah, I think you just have to click the right stat, or maybe some HUDs don't have it.
Yeah, I don't think I have it on here. I need to add it, but
Okay. I don't know. Jam's pretty damn good, man.
yeah, I think this is a good jam spot.
What hand do you think you should
right,
raise?
yeah.
What hand do you think you should raise here?
I would raise fold like king 9 off, king 8 off. Or no, actually, I don't know. Those might be good jams too. Yeah,
I think
king 8 off maybe.
Those hands play bad posts, but yeah, I like those as raise folds. They don't make anything on a jam. I would say king 10 suited, but king 10 suited is going to make you a lot of money on a jam too. But I like king 10 suited because it makes less on a jam. It still plays really well post and pretty happy. Like, I'm very unlikely to make a mistake if they shove on me and I have to call or fold. So I think it's a pretty easy fold versus all of them.
Yep.
I just don't want to raise king jack suited, get shoved on, and just be in a super thin marginal spot.
Yeah. I think that some of these small suited kings are good raise folds. Like king 7 suited through like maybe like king 5 or 4 suited, and then fold the bottom ones. Just open fold.
Yeah, sounds good. I'd definitely shove the pairs. Like, the pairs make few chips, but their post-flop value is so low. Deuces, 3s, 4s.
Yeah.
So I just rip those. Ace 9, only makes 400 ripping, but I don't know.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think that as far as raise calling range here, I think 8s plus I would raise call.
Yeah, seems good.
7s I would just rip.
Sounds good to me. Alright, let's go next hand.
Alrighty. Let's see. King queen off seems pretty good as a rip.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. You just go to next. Let's see if we just see any, like, big mistakes, perhaps. Ace
Okay.
9. See, I think this... We might have seen this one.
It's possible. Yeah.
Let's look at it. Let's see
Um,
if we... I think this one is not good.
okay. Yeah, let's see. Big blind is in 16-5 over 77 hands. Wonder if he defends his big blind. I don't know if I can tell on this stupid head. Yeah, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the EV of your rip is going to be about 300 chips, if I'm good with my math.
Let us see.
327.
Yeah, it's the absolute bottom.
Yeah, so yeah, this one isn't good. It's absolute bottom, and you're gonna lose a lot of your chips pretty often. I mean, you should take small edges because you never bust, but big blind has 25K. I mean, you shouldn't be shoving ace 9. Ace 10 is a lot more reasonable here.
Yeah, I think this is probably a raise fold. Maybe we could call button depending on stats.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. Versus this type of player, I think we should just raise fold to all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe small blind is the only one we could consider calling, but I still don't think we should.
Look at pocket twos. So they have the same exact EV, twos and ace 9. Well, it's pretty much the same exact. But twos is a way better jam than ace 9, I think. Because it plays like shit post flop.
Because what?
Because it plays like shit post flop.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just the comparison. You know, raising ace 9 is a lot more likely to show a profit than raising pocket twos. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, ace 9, not a jam. Ace 10 off, perhaps, could be a jam. King jack off, not a jam. King queen would be a pretty reasonable jam here.
Do you think that it's reasonable to, since we do have enough chips to be alive here when we lose, do you think we should take the ace 10 here, but if we had like 22K or like 20K, we should just pass on it?
I think
or not shove it, I mean.
I think we should be a lot more stringent, but 800 chips is a lot of fucking chips to make.
Yeah.
And you can't call anyone shove with it besides button, so...
Yeah, and even then I'm not happy calling it versus these stats.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Like, ace 10, it might be it could be a minus EV raise call with ace 10 here versus button.
I agree. Let's go next.
Go next.
Yes.
Okie ace queen with 15, it looks like.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, I think we could just pass by this one.
Yep.
Sound good?
Yep.
This looks like heads up, final table. Ace 6 off with 21.
Looks like a sit and go. No, it doesn't. Looks like it looks like a 9 table sit and go or something.
It could be. I did play a few sit and goes on here.
It's just a jam. I mean, you make pretty good money on this jam.
Yeah,
we don't we don't have to analyze heads up hands really.
Yeah. Okay. This is another sit and go, I think.
Yep.
Jam, I think is fine.
Yep.
I'll just skip that one. Another one where jam is fine.
Yep.
This one's kind of interesting, I think.
How much do you think you make with your jam? Do you think it's like bottom of your range or above the bottom, or?
I think it's pretty close to the bottom. Yeah. I don't think I like jamming here too much.
How many chips do you think it makes?
Let's see. Big blind's 100. 40 chips.
Damn, I was gonna say 40. Go ahead.
You're gonna say 40?
Yeah.
36.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's pretty much. I don't want to call it the middle, but it's pretty damn close to the middle. So middle's a pretty good hand
Yeah.
to jam. Like you just don't really want to jam the bottom for the most part.
Yeah. Let me get caught up on the replayer to where we are.
Yep. Yeah.
He's 38, 22, 20 over 32 hands.
Yeah. Plus you're gonna flat it a lot. If you open, you're out of position. So.
Yeah. So jam.
Yeah, I mean the EV of raising isn't going to be that good with marginal hands here out of position. So.
Yeah, this spot I think is yeah, it must be top 2. Yeah, if it's a sit and go.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let's skip like 5 hands or so we're done with the sit and go hands.
All right. Okay, this I don't think this is a sit and go. It could be, but I don't think it is.
Is this a good jam?
Let me get caught up to it here.
It's the diamonds, I think. Yep.
That's weird. It's showing spades here, but
Russians,
whatever.
Man.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not real sure about this one.
How many chips do you think it makes you?
0.
0? I'll go 30. Fuck, I think you might be right. Might be 0. I'm gonna
it might be
downshift
like neutral.
25. I'm gonna go to 25. I was gonna say 40. I'm gonna go 25 now.
You always use Price is Right strategy when we do these.
Yeah.
Oh wow, 50.
Damn it.
55.
Yeah, but it's still pretty. It's pretty much the bottom end, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
damn close. And if you look at raising post, your hand plays pretty damn well post.
Yep.
It's a pretty
And
nice.
if we look at the spot and see if we have any stats on anyone, yeah, Button's passive seems fishy, but he 3-bets. Oh, actually, 3-bets a lot. He's 33-12, so he's maybe active. It's kind of a small sample. Small blind 22-8 seems passive. Big blind's only 11 hands, but he hasn't PFR'd yet. He has 18% VPIP.
Yeah.
So they're going to tend to flat, I think, and not 3-bet very much.
Yeah, and you have a pretty hand. You have the king 9 suited, so.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is better as maybe a raise fold.
Yep.
Pre.
Yeah, I agree. You should maybe
Okay.
jam, like, I think pairs are more reasonable, or like ace. Well, I don't know. Pairs are more reasonable to jam here. I don't think king 9 suited's too pretty.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree. And I think that just based on these pre-flop stats, I think we can kind of assume that the blinds are going to make a lot of mistakes post-flop.
For sure.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is the button being so 3-bet happy.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty small sample. King 10 off on the button. I think this is, let's see, stats. Yeah, I think this could go either way. I think jam is fine.
How many chips do you think you make with the jam?
170.
I'm gonna go 130.
All right.
If you want, I could guess first. I'll give you position next time.
All right. We'll take turns having position. How about that?
Yeah.
You're closer. 116.
Yeah. So over a third of a big. And how often do you bust?
21%.
Yeah. But you're pretty far from the money at this point, I would guess.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty far from the money. Your hand's offsuit. Doesn't play that well post. Can't call a rejam. Make pretty
the other question I have though with this spot is like, even though we can't call it rejam and it's not the greatest hand post, I mean these guys are so passive and they seem quite fishy so far.
Yeah.
Do we really need to have great playability posts? Like, if this guy's gonna flat a ton, well, this guy's the 3-bet happy guy, I guess, so maybe that makes it more of a jam. But like, if this guy, see, this guy's 29-7-0. If this guy was like 33-10-3, would it make sense to just like min raise here and just see that a lot and basically get that extra 300 chips very often? Or am I just like leveling myself?
No, I think you should look at every factor that can increase the EV of raising. So if you have a variable that increases the EV of raising, like them not 3-betting enough, then it increases the chances raising's good. If they play like shit post, that increases the EV of raising and makes jamming worse. So
yeah,
any factor you could think of that increases the EV of raising or decreases it is going to make it better. And I think those are pretty good points.
Yeah, okay.
So versus these two passive kind of shitty players, raise might be optimal.
Yeah. All right, cool. It's very similar to the last ace-9 off hand that we saw.
Alright, I'll go first. I think this makes like 10 chips.
10 chips?
Yeah.
I think that... Yeah, I think that's pretty close. I'll say 5 chips, just to be different, but I think that 10 is pretty close. Let's see, buttons, passive, yeah, okay.
Calculate the John Nash equilibrium.
It's minus EV.
You won.
I almost said it was minus EV too, but I wasn't confident enough.
Yeah, so this is a pretty bad jam.
Yeah. What do you think about like just folding here?
I like raising.
You like raising? Okay.
Yeah, there just isn't much of a good debate, but I just think raising's too strong and should probably be in our range.
And looking at stats too, the only two guys we have stats on are super passive. Again, I mean, this guy's got a decent 3-bet amount, but being 29-7 and 18-7 is just
it's like we
worst.
talked about with the sample. It just doesn't mean much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that being 29-7 means quite a bit, even over 40 hands.
Yeah, I think that means a lot more than the 3-bet stat.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope. Next.
Yeah, this is just standard pile.
I'm gonna go with negative on this one. Negative EV.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think that we could raise here. Or we could just fold.
Yeah, I don't like jamming at all. You're gonna go with negative or positive here?
Negative. By like 100 or more.
No way. No way, bro.
80. That was close.
Yeah. So yeah, not a good jam.
Yeah.
So,
do you open this? Do you think this is an open or?
It's a weaker hand. I don't know. Oh, big blind looks really nitty. Look at his. He's 14-9, so probably really
over a lot of hands.
Yeah. Probably really good open. Get out of. Let me see if you still retained any of the stat stuff. I want you to break down the stats of seat 1 and seat 9. Tell me how you would exploit them.
Which seat did you say?
The guy with 236 hands and the guy with 430 hands.
Okay.
Yeah, just look at.
So I'll start with the big blind. Super nitty. I need to add call 2-bet on here so I can see if he defends his big blind.
I think if you pull up a different HUD, it will work. Because
Okay.
I remember one of your HUDs having a call 2-bet on there.
Yeah, the ugly HUD has it.
Yeah, pull up the super ugly one.
No, not that one. This one?
Might have been the yoga. Oh, that.
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay.
Call 2-bet, big blind, 22%. So no, he does not defend his big blind, and he's a nit. Big reasons to open more. Does he call C-bets? C-bets 2/3, folds to C-bets 2/3. Small samples. Yeah, so just pre-flop, I think we can really exploit this guy.
Look at his raise first then cut off.
Huh. Wow. That's strange. And he barely...
Yeah.
1 of 5 on the button.
Yes. I have this theory that some people think like the cutoff is more trickier because people don't expect it or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense, but doesn't make sense at the same time.
So yeah, that guy is just really tight in a ton of spots, but if he opens cutoff, I think you should. I don't know how you should deal with that though.
Yeah. I think we should just 3-bet more. If we're in small blind and he opens cutoff.
Sure. I don't know what kind of opening range you would give him for cutoff though.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could just get a heat map. I wish I could just like click on his cutoff raise first and right here and get a heat map of his range. That would be dope.
Yeah, but you don't get to see his cards though.
Yeah. It would have to be stuff that went to showdown. Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy with 400 hands.
Yeah.
20% RFI, 42% steal.
Yeah.
So he's a bit more active.
I don't care about your HUD stats; they're garbage. Pull out the pop-up.
He doesn't fold. He doesn't defend his blinds at all, though.
Oh wow! Super net.
Oh wow! Yeah. Big nit. So respect his opens, steal his big blind relentlessly, with anything basically. He c-bets a lot.
Yep.
Both flop and turn, so we should float him more. Well, he has so he has a strong range, but c-bets a lot. So I don't really know how to interpret that. Like he's really tight, but c-bets a ton. So the high c-bet makes me want to float more, but the fact that he has a tight range to get to the flop with is kind of like a counter to that. I think that we should still float more, though.
Okay.
Or check raise more, or both.
Okay.
He opens the button a lot, even though he's nitty in general.
Yep. Cutoff's actually a bit too high as well. Or it's higher than the population.
Yeah. So we can reshove versus his late position opens more. We can steal his blinds with just about anything. And we can float him more post-flop.
Okay. Alright, so a few things you missed on this page. This is 3-bet by position. Look at how often he 3-bets big blind as well.
Oh yeah, he 3-bets. He 3-bets late position a lot.
That's pretty like population tendency. But his big blind 3-bet 0 over the 29 hand sample.
Yeah.
Look at his fold. Look at his fold to 3-bet after raising as well by position.
Whoops. I wanted to see his call 2-bet big blind. So he doesn't 3-bet or like he doesn't 3-bet big blind, but he also only calls 14%.
Yep.
And then you wanted to see fold to 3-bet.
Yeah. So look at it when he raises cutoff and button. He's 4-4. And the population tendency is around 40-50%, so it's like pretty big sample. It's a pretty decent indicator. When you combine those stats with his high raise first in, it's a pretty strong indicator of 3-betting him late position.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep, but dude likes the flat button cutoff and MP a lot for opens.
He likes to flat what?
Button cutoff and MP versus opens.
Yeah.
Look at his call 2-bet again. See.
10-9.
Yeah, the 13 for MP. Those are all higher than the average.
EP's pretty bad. Well, it's a tiny sample, but
yeah. Also, another
that's
cool
like
stat,
a lot.
Another cool stat because you have so many hands. Full blind to steal, 92% in the big blind, all the way to the right in the middle. Lower, 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 lower.
Oh, right here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Full small blind to steal, 8 of 8.
Yeah. So just open on his blinds a ton.
Yeah. Correct.
Do you use aggression factor ever? I've never used that.
No, I'm too dumb to figure out what it means. I mean, I should just have it on and look at like population tendencies, but I'm lazy.
I kind of feel like it's not very useful, but maybe I just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, I just don't know what the number means. I'm too lazy to figure out how it's calculated. Too dumb to figure it out. And yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so tangent a bit. King 9 suited. What do you think of that one?
Let's look at stack sizes. We have a little over 20. I think this is probably better as a raise instead of a shove.
I agree. I think you make or lose like 20 chips either way. So
Let's go back to the other head. I don't like this head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone's passive. Just raise.
Yeah. You don't make much shoving, I don't think. I'd be surprised if you made 30 chips. Be pretty damn surprised.
I'll say 50.
You think you make 50 chips?
Yeah.
You're crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy.
17.
Yeah.
I think we actually make a lot more than that, though. This is Nash, so...
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
If you tweak their ranges a bit, I guess so.
Yeah. So I think just raise, probably raise folding to everyone.
Indeed. Sounds good.
Okay.
6-4.
6-4 suited.
Yep.
Oh, blind versus blind for 13 bigs.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah. I kind of do want to run Nash here, just kind of curious.
You should shove way wider than the Nash. Than Mr. Nash does.
This also looks like it's... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's not calling 40%, so... Let's adjust this, because I want to see what I can really shove here.
Like any two.
Oops.
You disagree with my any two read?
What? Oh, I didn't hear you.
I said
no, yeah, I think any twos.
I think 7 deuce off will make you like 30-ish chips. Ah, 81%. You gave him a wide calling range. Cheated.
Okay, I was just looking at his stats and stuff. He's a 23, 18, 8, so I think he's probably somewhat capable. Only 26 hands though, but
so there's a guy you have 153 hands on. Can you break down his... There's a guy with 173 hands. No, let's do the guy with 141 stats, actually.
there's actually a lot of guys I have hands on here.
Yeah, two black
labs. That's
Yeah, check out his stats.
That's like 17, 13, 4.
Ignore those.
Wait, I want to see what this stat is. I forgot what this is. Full blind to steal. Okay, cool. We should steal his big blind quite liberally. We should float lighter when he c-bets. We should check raise more when he c-bets.
I think his c-bet stats is like very close to the population. Might be a little bit lower.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
population c-bet percentage really high. Although 70 might be a bit too much than he should, but it's not like that much farther away from like balanced or whatever.
Okay. He 3-bets button a lot, although it's only 1 of 9. I wouldn't really use that, I guess, over this sample.
Yeah, what's the population tendency? It's like 8 or something like that, so it doesn't mean that much.
Yeah. Plus it's, yeah. So the biggest thing that I see is just stealing his blind a lot.
Second biggest thing you should see is... Go ahead.
His button PFR is very low.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about PFR. It doesn't exist to me.
What? What do you mean?
I just like raise first steps. I don't like PFR.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, raise first in is a lot more normal. It's a little bit high, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, so it tells PFR and RFI tells two way different stories. Like it always does.
See, that's why I don't get why everyone like advocates having PFR on their HUD, but then you're like, I don't care about PFR.
When you gave me the reasons for not having VPIP PFR, I said you made some good points. So I should consider taking it off.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of miss it sometimes, but I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about it. Like, I never really. It's a good like general indication of how passive someone is, but
yeah, I feel just stuck in my ways. I've been using VPIP PFR for 10 years. I'm like the old dude, you know, still doesn't want to believe in climate change or whatever.
All right. I mean, I always go back and forth between these two HUDs because I sometimes decide that I want it back, but anyway.
Oh, so the big thing you missed this is raise first in MP is a pretty huge outlier.
Oh, wow, yeah. Interesting.
His call 2-bet by position probably doesn't yield anything too interesting, but you could check that out if you wanted. You'd have to pull up a different HUD.
Oh, yeah. But, let's skip it.
Cool.
Or unless you really want to do it.
Nah, we're good.
I think this is a pretty fine shove.
Yeah, make heaps of money.
Yeah. Do you want to play the guessing game, or you want to just go to the next hand?
Nah, go ahead. Make lots. Go ahead.
Queen 9 is fine. King deuce is fine.
Yep. You shove this one?
Whoa, that's weird.
What the fuck's wrong with you, Doug? Was it a rebuy? Tell me it was a rebuy.
No, I don't shove. Okay.
Okay.
I was like, what the hell? That doesn't make sense.
Alright.
Okay, I do shove, but it's after I get 3-bet.
Okay. That makes
I thought I filtered those out, but... Seems
Cool.
fine.
Coolio.
I think this is good.
I do not. Do not think
No?
this is good. I think you make 50 chips at the most.
Yeah.
It's certainly not
Hmm.
fucking Nash. You'd have to plug in some janky ranges. Make it work. You didn't calculate
Yeah.
Nash?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, you'd have to plug in some janky ranges here.
And I don't have any reason to based on their stats. I don't think.
Yeah,
Um,
they're probably calling a little bit tighter. It's probably reasonable to give
yeah.
them 21 and 17, but you're still only making 50 chips or something. Not even.
Yeah.
So just fucking raise or fold.
I think. Yeah. Either one is fine. I guess folding or raise folding.
So yeah, it seems like the mistakes you're making is one, just not realizing how much you make on the jam, just not knowing that intuitively that,
Yeah.
you know, it's either really thin or whatever, but it seems like you're getting the hang of it. Although you thought this queen deuce was good, which is bananas. But yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's profitable versus what they're actually calling with, but just barely.
Yeah. So yeah, taking a lot of barely plus EV jams, and I guess just look at deeper at the EV of raising, like those stats you were talking about, and
Yeah.
playability and all that shit.
Mhm.
So we're good. I guess just for practice, look at that guy in the one seat with 121 hands. Just let's break down his HUD.
Okay.
Big.
I have a note on him too.
The guy
Do you want to know
to
the
the
note?
right of the guy to the right of him. That guy's a fish. I don't give a fuck about him.
Oh, this guy. Okay. This guy's a bit more active. He's 26-18. Real quick, one thing I've been like kind of wanting to get better at in game is someone I have decent sample on like this. If I hover over their notes, there's some pretty decent like automatic note taking in PT4.
I hate it and I never use it.
Okay, I never use it either, but I'm wondering if I should. But maybe I shouldn't.
I feel like sometimes I miss info. The majority of the time I don't. Because it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the notes are just a lot of times not useful for the situation I need.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if you look at these notes right here, they're all pretty useless.
yeah.
Like raised all in pre-flop with jacks.
Yep.
Open from the button with king jack off. Open jammed.
Yep.
And, like, doesn't really... Yeah. Okay. RFIs, I'll start with. They seem pretty reasonable. MPs maybe a little high. Buttons maybe a little low.
Yeah.
3-bet is all from the button, so he likes to 3-bet the button. Hasn't 3-bet any other positions.
He threw about the big blind.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. And then he always c-bets so far, which is a bit of an outlier, but not that much over 3 hands.
Correct? We need a call 2-bet stat really quick.
Yeah. I'll add that to this HUD.
Coolio.
Call 2-bet is 9% total. Big blind is 7%. So it looks like he does not defend big blind very much.
Yeah. Full blind to steal 75% too, so
Yeah.
pretty good.
Wow. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty wild. Like every person we've analyzed is not defending at all.
Yeah. I think on ACR you get less of that. I don't know what site this is.
Yeah. Yeah, Merge is just like another world. Like it's like people just live in a cave and don't find any strategy stuff.
Yes, because they don't play out real money. That's the reason.
Yeah, like who cares if you win? It's just fake money anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes. Are you up money this year?
No, I'm down like I don't know, not much, but down a little bit.
Okay.